Hello, dear Kariane Westrheim, Director of EUTCC. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for inviting me.
EUTCC organizes annual conferences in the Europe Parliament. What is the significance of these annual EUTCC conferences internationally and for the Kurds themselves? Have the annual conferences contributed to any significant changes?
Yeah, I think I can say yes to that. It was established in November 2004 by we were four founding organization, which was the Rafter Foundation in Norway, Kurdish Human Rights Project, Medical International, and Bar Human Rights Committee of England and Wales. But they are no longer involved. Now we have an international board of volunteers consisting of Michael Gunther in the UK, in the US, Dr. Dassim Dagdeviren, Professor Jos Jongerden, Estella Smith in the UK, and Professor Thomas Miley. But we also had great support and help from the KNK in Brussels, Adem Uzun and Nilofer Kok, and other members from there. And also, I would like to mention that Judge Asamusa, who is now well known among the Kurds, and one of Mandela's first lawyers, he served on the board and brought invaluable experience on South Africa's liberation struggle. And that helped us a lot in our work with the Kurds. And also, I have to say that we would never have achieved what we have without the support from the European Parliament and some of the political groups, not all, but important political groups, like the European Left, Nordic Green Left group, which has continued support from the beginning and up till today, with Stefanos Guasina as an invaluable logistical support, and also the Progressive Alliance of Socialists and Democrats and Group of the Greens European Free Alliance. And their support has given a huge recognition to the conference. And also prominent individuals have supported this new international initiative, and among them Desmond Tutu, Shirin Ebadi, who are both Nobel Peace Prize laureates, and many others. And the EUTCC, we need partners. So we work closely with human rights organizations, foundations, campaigns, like the UK-based Peace in Kurdistan campaign, the Kurd Akkad, and others. And our initial goal was to promote Turkey's accession to the EU. But of course, that seems today like an impossible goal. We don't know where we know where Turkey is today, but we don't know how it will end up in the future. The last couple of years, we had a particular focus on Syria, specifically the Democratic Federation of Northern Syria. The EUTCC also make recommendations, acts as a point of contact, and exchange information with institutions in the EU and other governmental institutions internationally, also in and outside Europe. So what do we do? What is the EUTCC? It is an international platform where Kurdish politicians and spokespersons can discuss crucial issues with European politicians, as well as representatives for international politics and organizations. It is especially a platform where Kurdish democratic and progressive perspectives become visible. And we always have conference presenters that include top-level of Kurdish politics. Although the situation in Turkey, Baku, Bashur, and Rojava is worse than ever, and the Kurds and women in particular are targeted in all parts of Kurdistan. These insightful conference talks have served as conscious arousal vehicles and have been well covered by international press, especially given their venue in the European Parliament. Indeed, what we have experienced is that people around the world have been introduced to the Kurdish problem and been made sympathetic to its macro importance for international politics. Many have asserted that they first became aware of the Kurdish dilemma and its significance for world politics because of these international annual conferences and their wide scope and great variety of speakers, all devoted to one larger cause, namely that of justice for the Kurds within existing international legal norms. So we hope to continue to organize these annual conferences in the years to come.
As we know, you have an Imran delegation as well. Could you please give us more details and background about the Imran delegation?
Yeah. These delegation were formed because of the imprisonment of Abdullah Öcalan, because our ultimate goal or wish was to visit Öcalan. Of course, we know that is not possible, but despite that, we wanted to have this connect this name. The delegation goes to Turkey, to different parts of Kurdistan, to important European institutions such as the Council of Europe and the Committee for the Prevention of Torture. Right now, it seems like a very distant goal to visit Öcalan. It would have been of high importance, but we will never give it up. We will try again and again to apply for it, and we keep the hope warm. After the first Emirali delegation, we published a book titled Your Freedom and Mine, Abdullah Öcalan and the Kurdish Question in Erdogan's Turkey, which was edited by Thomas Jeffrey Miley and Federico Venturini. And I would say that in the beginning of these conferences, we couldn't even say the name Öcalan at the conference because of the politicians in the parliament and because of also other organizations that that participated. Today, at the last conferences, Öcalan, his thoughts and ideas have been the hot topic, the one topic that everyone's talking about. So there has been a development and a consciousness rising on that topic as well.
So as you know, many Yazidi women are still captured. There are reports that women were kidnapped and killed. Do you have any studies on this subject? Does the world see enough of them?
I cannot mention one or some particular studies, but there are. I know that Amnesty just released a report about the Yazidi and the women, the situation for women, and that they urge the international community to take action and to try to find measures to solve this problem, to get these women home. That they wanted the international community to take action to bring the women on, to find them and bring them home. I haven't read I just saw that it was released, but I haven't read the study.
Okay. How do you comment on the attitude of European countries and international institutions on Turkey's occupation attacks against Kurdish land and also the Yazidi genocide?
It is an absolute disgrace to humanity. But so are the international community's attitude to everything that happens in the Kurdish on the Kurdish area. It both in Rojava and now in Bashur and in Turkey and in Shengal. It is really, really a shame, a shame. And so many people, politicians and everyone have tried to approach and to urge, to call on them to do something. But of course, politics comes in between. So until now, there is no major measures taken by the international community.
How important is women's liberation for the Middle East, and can the Kurdish women's movement play a real role in achieving it?
I think the Kurdish women's movement is im- is of crucial importance to the future development. And what I think what the women have achieved is to create or develop a kind of unity across the borders where the Kurds live. And this unity makes them so much stronger, and it will have a huge impact. At least the last years, there have been so much done on the Kurdish issue, Kurdish women's equality, women's liberation, and of course this poses a big threat to Turkey. And it also has to do with what is going on in Shengal. Turkey has attacked Shengal many times now. And we know that women and women's liberation is a threat to Turkey. So they see that the women's liberation, gender equality is elaborating in the Middle East, in the Kurdish area. And they want to stop it, and they will stop it with arms. So I think the women's movement should be supported by everyone because it perhaps is the strongest weapon, if you should say that, for liberation and a democratic Middle East. That is the freedom of women.
How can the Kurdish freedom movement deal with the prejudice that surrounds being labeled as a terrorist organization?
I think the Kurdish movement until now is used to being labeled, and despite of that, they work really strategically and goal oriented. So, but of course, the EU should take, for example, the PKK off the terror list because it hinders the peace process. For example, Turkey can easily say, no, we don't want to negotiate with terrorists. So I don't know why this is so difficult, but it is a part of the whole problem, the whole puzzle, but they will never give up. And we who support the Kurds and who understand a bit of the problem must continue to pressure on the EU and other European institutions, on the US, to make them remove the PKK from the terror list, because that's really an obstacle to peace.
What is your message to Erdogan, lastly, Erdogan's government, to stop military operations and airstrikes to Kurdish areas, and your comments about invasion attempt to Kurdistan?
We are used to all these crazy measures that Erdogan take. Of course, it is terrible, but perhaps in Bashur, people will be more conscious about the politics that has been done and conducted in South Kurdistan, because has been so devastating for people and for the Kurdish issue in such. So now when the attacks is going on in Bashur, I think more and more people are getting are getting aware of the situation and the politics that has been conducted in South Kurdistan, and especially the close collaboration with Turkey. And this is a result of that politics. What is amazing now is to see how, for example, people are starting organizing like they do in Rojava. Also the Yazidi who are organizing in the same way. They have really understood that they have to organize themselves. They have to defend themselves. So now they have this autonomous administration of Shengal, which is really promising. So I hope also that the situation in Bashur, despite the attacks, I think that the most important there is that the ordinary people are getting more conscious about what is happening, and that the politics of the KRG cannot continue like it had in the past.
Kariane, Director of EUTCC, thanks for joining us. Thanks for supporting our channel today.
Thank you for inviting me. It was a great honor.
Thank you. Thank you.